This disclaimer was copied without permission. Cheers, quaffers, guzzlers, swiggers, sippers, and all other good people out there. Hopswatch here, and as you probably noticed, the intro was really short and sweet this once around, because I thought it was time to take on one of the other subjects from my usual intro that interests me. Namely, one of the many skeptics channels that I follow on YouTube, Suris, made a video that I would like to respond to. If you're not already subscribed to Suris, then it is really only your loss. In other words, go and fix that immediately, or else I might sing a laid back tune again. So, in his video, Suris is taking on an up-and-coming, already semi-famous and full-blown infamous apologist by the name of Matt Powell. If you don't know who he is, I truly envy your ignorance. He is a full-blown religious extremist whose best-known feat may be his dislike for video game-playing atheists, like myself. He has, however, also a much darker side to him.
How do you justify your position that the government should execute homosexuals?
Yeah. So first and foremost, the only way that somebody could become a homo, the Bible says, is the person has to first hate God. They have to just hate God. And so that's the reason why I believe that homosexuals are dangerous and that many of them are child molesters, because on a common sense level, a man that would have sex with another man would have sex with anything. In the 1800s, it was perfectly legal if your wife was sleeping with another man to go in and just take the life of both of them. I don't advocate for that. I think that's wicked and sinful. I believe it's the government's job to execute criminals. But with regards to the homosexual community, you better believe that I have a severe problem with them. And we will never back down to the LGBTQ or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that's what I believe, and I believe that it's totally constitutional.
Yes, he thinks that LGBTQ people should be killed for their sexual orientation, because he thinks that's dictated in the Bible. Just so you know what we're dealing with here, a number of YouTube channels have engaged him in debates, like a Modern Day Debate and the Non Sequitur Show. And as you will see in Suris' video, Suris is not exactly pleased with that.
Apparently this person is legitimately thought-provoking enough that we see fit to have public discourse with him. I'm not talking about response videos, I'm not talking about any of that stuff, because that's stuff that you can do on your own time in your own arena. I'm talking about sharing a podium with this person. I find it very weird that we've somehow gotten to the point where ideas like Matt's seem like they deserve scrutiny as opposed to ridicule. There may have been a point where his ideas merited scrutiny, and there may still be some legitimate good that can come from scrutinizing his opinions and showing where they are logically invalid. But at the same time, I do have to wonder, are we not somehow, in some way, legitimizing this person and his horrible ideas by sharing the podium with him?
Now, it's an age-old question. Are we legitimizing extremists to the extent where we are even giving them a platform when we invite them to debate shows? And wouldn't it be better if we simply ignored them so that they would have as few chances as possible to get their ideas out in the open? Let them suffocate in their own little echo chambers with no one ever knowing that they exist. Well, my position on the matter is, if that was possible, it very well could be the better alternative. However, as it may be a good idea in theory, I don't think that it would work in reality. And there is a number of reasons why. Now let's take the Non Sequitur Show as an example. They have debated Matt Powell, along with other apologists, flat earthers, incels, and people from the extreme right. The question is, whichever exposure the debates have given these people and their obviously bad and harmful ideas has also given exposure to the people that are opposite them. They are met by highly qualified debaters that very effectively refute the bad arguments to expose the extremists as the liars and hateful people that they are. Listeners and watchers of these debates will not only be listening to the ideas and manifestos of the extremists, they will hear it being refuted, debunked, proved wrong, And whoever listens might remember the counter-arguments, bringing them with them out into the real world after the show to employ the arguments in future debates with other extremists. And they will be better armed in those debates than those that watched while being on the sides of the extremists. Personally, I have become more knowledgeable, for example, from the Flat Earth and Creationist debate. I knew from the beginning that they were all wrong, but by having them confronted by people who actually know their stuff in online debates, I also know exactly why they are wrong, why what they propose is absolutely impossible, and how their ridiculous claims can be refuted. Also, if people are extreme enough to become flat earthers, creationists, incels, racists, or even worse, after watching extremists like that being pulled apart and smashed around non sequitur show style, it's my take that they would probably have become extremists anyway, in some shape or form. Also, as skeptics, we need to have our viewpoints challenged. Only that way our points and arguments can be made stronger and even more watertight than they already are. We want to know when we are wrong. We are open to have our views changed if they turn out to be wrong, so that we can correct them. If our viewpoints are so weak we can't even argue them properly against extremists whose views are so incoherent, emotional and irrational, it is most definitely we who have an issue. Also, and this is my final and most important point, even though it is tempting to try to silence these people, never to let them be heard by anyone again, rubbing our hands in schadenfreude as their ideas are first silenced and then slowly withering and dying, I see that as practically impossible. If we don't engage in debate with these people, someone else for sure will. We'll have any run-of-the-mill clickbaiting website, debate channel, or even tabloid newspaper flocking around these people to pick up the crazy for easy clicks and publicity. Publicity indeed is what sites like that are looking for, not the truth, and they will be much more interested in getting the crazy out rather than challenging it and debunking it. The crazy will be exposed in a much less critical way, thus, at least as I see it, much more worthy of acceptance for the unknowing than if the crazy is presented in a format where it is constantly challenged. Now, there are no easy way around this issue, and the discussion whether we should debate extremists or not is an ongoing one for good reasons. I, for one, see the standpoint of silencing these people by ignoring them or refusing to debate them as practically impossible and probably even harmful. Others will debate them, and the motives of those others will likely be different from ours. We want to take the extremists down, prove them wrong, debunk them, and show the world how harmful and wrong their ideas are. And as skeptics, we have an obligation to do so. And even though we could just make videos about them where we expose their hate and idiocy instead of engaging them in actual debates, we also have to rely on the fact that our arguments are better than theirs and we have the moral and epistemological high ground, and that their idiocy and hate can be defeated not only in a narrative format but also very much in a face-to-face, camera image to camera image debate. So that is my stand on the issue. I'll be back soon with more beer reviews, so don't worry if that is what you're here for primarily. However, I do want to make more videos that deals with issues like religion, politics, science and skepticism, so expect some more sprinkling of that on the beer reviews that will, until further notice, still be the primary activity of this channel. Links to all cited sources and channels in the description. There you can also find links to my Twitter, Facebook and Untapped accounts. Always remember to drink responsibly. Until next time, cheers. Sunshine, sunshine reggae. Don't worry, don't hurry, take it easy. Sunshine, sunshine reggae. Yeah. That's to all those of you who still haven't subscribed to Suris or the Non Sequitur show during this video. Sunshine, sunshine. I'm gonna take a copyright hit for this, but I don't care. I'm not monetized.